we are waiting for motivation, not realizing that motivation is the reason we have been stuck for so long. If only you move when you feel inspired, you will spend most of your life standing still because discipline begins where motivation ends. I used to think that discipline looked impressive. I thought disciplined people woke up every day feeling focused, confident, energized, and ready to conquer the world. I thought they had some secret mindset that made everything easier. But the older I get, the more I realize that discipline looks nothing like what most of us imagine. Discipline is not waking up excited every morning. Discipline is waking up on a day when you don't feel like doing anything and you still do what you're supposed to do. Discipline is not always feeling motivated, it's continuing after motivation disappears. Discipline is not loving the process every day, it is respecting the process even on the days you hate it. And that is the part nobody talks about. We see successful people and we admire the result, we admire the confidence, we admire the achievement, we admire the lifestyle. But what we rarely see are the ordinary moments that created those results. The moment when they were tired, the moment when they were frustrated, the moment when they wanted to quit, the moment when nobody was watching them. Because discipline in real life is usually invisible. It looks like studying when nobody is forcing you to study. It looks like saving money when nobody would know if you spent it. It looks like going to the gym when your bed feels more comfortable. It looks like walking on your goal after a long day when every part of every part of you wants to rest. It looks like keeping promises you made to yourself. And if I am being honest, that is where many of us struggle. Not because we don't know what to do. Most of us already know. We know we should stop procrastination. Or let me say we should stop procrastinating, sorry. We know we should be more consistent. We know we should manage our time better. We know we should work harder on our goals. Knowledge is not usually the problem. Execution is. Because knowing something and doing something are two completely different things. I have realized that discipline is often doing the obvious thing that nobody feels like doing. That is it. It's not glamorous. It's not exciting. It's not always inspiring. In fact, discipline can feel incredibly boring. And maybe that is why so many people avoid it. We live in a world that celebrates excitement. Everybody wants quick results. Everybody wants shortcuts. Everybody wants instant success. Everybody wants the reward. Very few people want the repetition that creates the reward. Think about it. A person does not become fit because they exercise once. A person does not become wealthy because they saved money once. A person does not become knowledgeable because they read one book. A person does not become successful because they had one productive day. The result people admire are usually built through actions that looked insignificant when they happened. That is why discipline really, let me say, that is what discipline really is. It is repeating the right actions long enough for them to produce results. And sometimes that is frustrating because discipline often works quietly. You can do the right thing today and see no reward. You can do the right thing tomorrow and still see no reward. You can do the right thing for weeks, for months, and feel like nothing is changing. That is where most people quit. Not because they are incapable, not because they are crazy, but because they expected progress to be visible immediately. What they did not realize is that growth is happening even when they can't see it. A seed does not become a tree overnight. For a long time, it looks like nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, roots are growing. And I think a lot of our lives work the same way. Sometimes discipline means trusting the process before the result arrives. Sometimes discipline means continuing when the evidence has not shown up yet. Sometimes discipline means believing your efforts matter even when nobody else notices. And honestly, one of the hardest forms of discipline is emotional discipline. Everybody talks about discipline when it comes to work, fitness, or money, but emotional discipline matters too. It is staying calm when you are angry. It is controlling your words when you are upset. It's refusing to let temporal emotions make permanent decisions. It's choosing maturity over reaction. It's choosing wisdom over impulse. It's choosing peace over unnecessary conflict. Because not every battle deserves your energy. Not every argument deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves a response. Sometimes discipline is keeping quiet when your ego wants to speak. Another thing I have learned is that discipline is really about self respect. When you continuously break promises to yourself, you slowly stop trusting yourself. You say you will start tomorrow. Tomorrow comes and you don't start. You say you will wake up early. The alarm rings and you ignore it. You say you will work on your goals. The day ends and nothing happens. Repeat that long enough and something dangerous happens. You stop believing in your own words. But every time you keep a promise to yourself, even a small one, you strengthen that trust again. You start proving to yourself that your words actually mean something. And that changes everything. Because confidence does not always come from success. Sometimes confidence comes from knowing that when you tell yourself you are going to do something, you actually do it. And that is why this message is for me too. Because there are days when I don't feel motivated. There are days when I want to delete things. There are days when comfort looks more attractive than comfort. There are days when excuses sound reasonable. But I have learned that the future I want will never be built on feelings alone. Feelings change, motivation changes, mood changes. Discipline is the only thing that stays. And maybe that is what separates people who eventually achieve their goals from those who keep talking about them. Not talent, not luck, not intelligence, but consistency. The willingness to do what needs to be done, especially when it is not convenient. The willingness to keep going when nobody is cheering you. The willingness to remain committed after the excitement fades. Because discipline in real life does not look dramatic. It looks like a person quietly doing what they said they would do again and again and again. Until one day the results finally become impossible to ignore. So, the truth is, discipline rarely feels powerful in the moment. It feels ordinary, it feels repetitive, it feels uncomfortable. But years later, you will either be grateful for the discipline you practice or regret the excuses you protected. So ask yourself, am I waiting to feel motivated or am I becoming disciplined enough to act regardless of how I feel? Because your future won't be built by your best intentions. It will be built by what you consistently do when you don't feel like doing it.